why there are no entry-level UX design jobs on the market. In this video, I wanted to dive deeper into the reasons behind that to help you understand how companies seize junior UX designers and why they are reluctant about hiring them. My name is Ines, I'm a principal product designer at Zalando and I have 15 years of experience. I'm also actively interviewing candidates for the company, so I know what companies look for when it comes to hiring UX designers. My channel is about UX design too, subscribe. Let's go. The reason number one why companies are reluctant in hiring entry-level UX designers is that because they require more time to coach. And senior UX designers have to invest a lot of time in teaching juniors. On practice, that means that seniors will do less work in their working hours. And the team capacity temporarily decreases. All juniors have to have a mentor inside of the company, otherwise they are not placed to success and they will leave the company sooner. Also, juniors do a lot of mistakes, that's normal, but they have to have sign-offs and design critiques and separate sessions to discuss their designs. And also some juniors, especially those who are fresh out universities, they don't know corporate ethics and they have to be coached about that. Otherwise, they will just unintentionally disrupt the process. So seniors suddenly become responsible for the success and outcomes of juniors. And not every team can afford this temporary decrease in team's capacity and allow seniors coach juniors. And especially not in the times of the crisis, because resources become very valuable and they are very limited. Of course, when a junior UX designer gets on track, the capacity of the team increases significantly and seniors become more satisfied with their work because they have someone to mentor and they can delegate some pieces of work that is not challenging for them anymore. But in my experience, at least a year passes by until that happens. So companies just can't spend this year right now. The reason number two why companies are not hiring junior UX designers right now is that the handover to engineers is suffering, and engineers are unhappy about that. If you are familiar with the double diamond process, you need to know that juniors are working at the end of the double diamond. That means that they are taking over the conceptual work that senior designers have done, and they finalize and execute that. Then the handover to engineers is becoming the main point of focus in the team. And to my constant surprise, most of the junior designers I've talked to, they are not familiar with how code works. And they just can't prepare the handover to engineers in a way they would understand this. And yes, many people go to UX design because they are mostly interested in user research, in the UX methods, and they are interested in working in the beginning of the double diamond. But eventually we are creating the digital user experience. And we are building this user experience with the help of the actual components, actual user interfaces. And knowing how those user interfaces are built is important to succeed in this career, especially in the beginning when this will become your major point of focus. And the part with handover to engineers is a crucial part to many companies, because if it is not done effectively, the whole process slows down. And engineers will not be happy about that because they can't do their job. And it's not like their job is more important than ours, it's just design is much easier to produce and change. If you have already coded something, it will take you a while to change it. You will have to debug that, you will have to test it, and there are a lot of people involved into this. Whereas in the design, we can just change components in Figma and that's it. So companies are really focused on optimizing the work for engineers. And junior UX designers are a front line of these efforts. But unfortunately, most of the bootcamps, they don't teach this part well. And it can be clearly assessed during the interview process. And that's why many companies, they just don't hire junior UX designers. They don't believe they have the solid skill in this. By the way, if you like this video so far and you want to receive more videos like that, give me thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below. It's important for me and for YouTube algorithms. And we're moving on. The reason number three why companies are not hiring junior designers nowadays is that juniors leave the companies way faster. And that might sound counterintuitive. Why to leave the company if you have just joined, you have just started your career, you struggled so much to find this first job? But there are many reasons for that. And the main reason for that is that it's quite normal to have the salary raised when you change a job. And in the beginning of one's career, those jumps will be more significant. When you will become a senior, those jumps will not be so noticeable because you are already on the higher end of the salary spectrum. And the motivation to change the job is not so significant anymore. But for juniors, yes, if you change the job in the beginning of your career, chances are that your salary will be higher than than of the person who stayed in one company for a long time. And knowing that most juniors leave the company after a year and a half, 2 years since they joined. And companies don't really want to invest in teaching juniors knowing that they will leave soon. There is just no return on investment. This is the brutal truth. Also, juniors typically don't have anything to compare their first job with. And that's why some of them believe that there are some ideal companies, some dream job waiting for them out there. And for the most, it is actually true. If your first job is not at Apple or Google, there's definitely something else to explore. But then realize that companies also understand this. And that's why they also don't understand want to invest in someone's education to see them leave in 2 years. Now, those are 3 reasons why companies are reluctant to hire junior UX designers. First is that juniors require a lot of time to be coached and taught. Second, the handover to engineers will probably suffer. And third, typically juniors leave companies faster, and that's why it's not clear why to invest in one's education. Now, those reasons are major. And it was actually unprecedented during the pandemic that companies hire a lot of juniors. Yes, juniors also bring a lot of good stuff to the company. I will tell about that in one of the next videos that I'm planning. But for the most companies, hiring juniors is a luxury right now. But my hope that knowing that you can first reduce the burden from yourself. I know many people blame themselves that they can't find a job in UX design. So just realize that you are not alone into this. There are bigger reasons for that, and unfortunately this is the situation on the market. Second, I was hoping that knowing that could help you develop some strategies about how you can present yourself better in front of the companies, knowing that when interviewing you, they might have those objections in their background. And that was it for today. In one of my next videos, I plan to tell you more about concrete strategies and steps you can take to become more successful as a junior UX designer in landing a job. Subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss that. And let me know in the comments what is your situation about the job search and what other questions shall I cover in my upcoming videos. See you next time!